chapter 2. I'm going to read verse 14 and then a few verses from chapter 3, verses 17 through 19. Habakkuk in the Old Testament. In my Bible, it's right around page 782. Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 14. I do want to bring you greetings from Celebration Church at Columbia, and also from my father, Bishop Robert Stanley Davis Sr., who loves this congregation, loves what God is doing in this congregation, and loves your pastor and first lady so deeply. Habakkuk chapter 2, verse 14. We read these words. See, he is puffed up, his desires are not upright, but the righteous will live by faith. And chapter 3, verse 17 through verse 19. Though the fig tree does not bud, and there are no grapes on the vines, though the olive crop fails, and the fields produce no food, though there are no sheep in the pen, and no cattle in the stalls, yet I will rejoice in the Lord. I will be joyful in God, my Savior. The sovereign Lord is my strength. He makes my feet like the feet of a deer. He enables me to go up high. May the Lord add a blessing to the reading of his word. You may be seated. Title of our message this morning, The Best Way to Live by Faith. The best way to live by faith. One of the things that verse 14 of chapter 2 is teaching us is really that there are two kinds of people in the world. Just two kinds of people in the world. People that trust God and people that trust themselves. Because there are two kinds of people on planet Earth, according to Habakkuk chapter 2 and verse 14. The first type of human being is a human being that the Bible describes as being puffed up, and whose desires are not upright. And then the end of that verse says, but the righteous will live by faith. Now, the version that you are reading from may say that the righteous will live by his faith, or that the righteous will live by the faith of God, or that the righteous will live by faith. All of it is saying the same thing, because our faith doesn't even come from ourselves. Our faith comes from God. Faith is a gift that God gives us, and every one of us in here today needs faith if our lives are going to be lived right side up and not upside down.